Hello, my name is Jeff Rolka. Thank you for checking out my video. Had a question about the differences in style between pop singing and musical theater. Let's have a look at the question. Love the lesson, Mr. Rolka. I don't know if I can make a suggestion about a topic I'd love for you to cover, but I was wondering if you were able to make a video about the differences in technique when it comes to pop versus musical theater, if there are any. I know both genres have their individual style and can be somewhat broad, but I'd love to see how you approach the different styles and how to tailor our practice to each. Such a good question. In general, there is an awful lot of overlap. And I think that there's also a lot of overlap in what I would recommend for the pop vocalist and the musical theater vocalist, as well as some specific practices that may suit those genres differently, perhaps is the best way of putting that. In general, I would say that the main difference between the two styles is what I would call the onus of intelligibility. And what that means is that in musical theater, and this is certainly true in popular music as well, but in musical theater, there is a narrative that is running throughout the duration of the entire show. And the actors in a musical theater presentation have an obligation to deliver that narrative in an intelligible way. In other words, one that you can listen to and understand in real time. So if you, and I love Radiohead, I think they've done some amazing music. There are times when it's very easy to not understand what Tom York is singing. He does not have such a responsibility to deliver a narrative that we can understand in real time. You can listen to the song as many times as you like. You can look up the lyrics online and then discern meaning having read them. More than a few times, I have misheard what it was he was singing in the song. In a musical theater piece, the narrative has to be delivered in real time, and that can make technique a bit tricky. They have to err a little bit more to the side of intelligibility. They do not have as much latitude in how they can modify vowels, shape consonants so it makes phrasing easier. And I'm particularly thinking about high note singing. If we are singing a phrase that goes into the upper registers of our voice, we do well to work on modifying those vowels as much as is necessary and modifying the consonants so that they make the continuity of the airflow easier for us, sometimes eliminating them entirely. The consonants are, of course, what define the words that we are singing. Without them, you just get a string of vowel sounds. Now, that's really great for singing, not great for delivering a narrative. And so the musical theater vocalist has to contend with that onus of intelligibility. They have to deliver the narrative in a way that can be discerned in real time. It can be understood in real time. I still advocate for musical theater vocalists to learn to make a good transition across the secondo passaggio. Frequently, musical theater vocalists are called upon to belt more than other genres. Sometimes this is in fact necessary. It is not in fact always necessary. By learning to make a good transition across the secondo passaggio, the musical theater vocalist can save their voice for those moments when they really do need to, quote-unquote, belt it out. And that means by having that flexibility in their technique, they can avoid more vocal fatigue. They can avoid the possibilities of any kind of damage long term. They will require fewer days off. They will have more stamina. all sorts of stuff like that, just for having a choice. If you are only ever belting for high notes, and particularly I'm thinking of high notes that are beyond a minor second above your secondo passaggio, then you are really at risk for a lot of early onset vocal fatigue, and just needing more time off or needing more recovery time or having other kinds of vocal issues. So making a good transition across the secondo passaggio is a technique that I advocate for both genres. In the pop world, especially if you are the writer of the song, then you have great latitude in how you choose to deliver the high notes for the song that you have written. You can choose to do whatever you want. You might even choose to change the key. And even if you didn't write the song, you could still change the key so that the range of the melody is very well suited to your singing voice. By way of example, I usually use something like really extreme. For example, a baritone-ranged vocalist wanting to sing a song that was done by Whitney Houston. There is very little overlap in those two vocal ranges, where Whitney Houston would typically sing versus where the baritone range vocalist would typically sing. So it behooves the baritone vocalist to switch the key to suit their specific Fach, their voice. This is sometimes possible in musical theater, but not always. And so the musical theater vocalist will have to contend with that. As far as doing a video illustrating these differences, I'll have to give that some thought. Most of the videos on my channel are what I would call designed to be done with neutral technique. In other words, you can sing the exercises regardless of what genre you're going to be performing in, and it's a neutral way to work on your vowel alignment, your arpeggio breath management, and your registration events in some of the videos. Not all of them, but in a lot of the videos. So I haven't done a lot of specific videos for illustrating these differences and things like that. But those are a few of the things that I think about when I think about a pop vocalist versus the musical theater vocalist. There may be more. I'm sure that there are more. There may be things that you personally have come across. Please let us know in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, thank you. If you have chosen to subscribe, truly appreciate it. Big thank you to my Patreon supporters. And for those of you who like to keep things local, YouTube memberships are now open. You can click the join button and find out about the perks that come at the various levels. Thank you for your support, however that may come. I really appreciate it. Until next time, my name's Jeff. Take really good care of your voices, enjoy singing, and hopefully we'll see you again. Bye.